num num. And it's kind of freaking me out a little bit. Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome. It's Thursday, it's 4 o'clock, and we're live here today. We're going to talk about rotisserie. Now, if you don't have a rotisserie, guys, don't turn the channel or flip me up on Facebook or wherever you're watching on YouTube, because you can make this recipe in the air fryer without the rotisserie. But with the rotisserie, I'll kind of give you some reasons why I think it comes a little bit better than normal, especially if your rotisserie is a PowerXL air fryer like this one. This is the PowerXL air fryer grill. The PowerXL air fryer grill not only can grill things like steaks and chops and fish and get grill marks and stuff like that, but it also has a rotisserie. And that rotisserie is long enough to take something like a pork loin or a pork tenderloin or a filet loin. You know, it's long. So I love it because you're not confined by maybe the size of a chicken, so you can actually do bigger things. Now, why do we want a rotisserie? Jess, just show this one more time.
Okay.
Now, as it spins, it's literally using its own juices to baste itself. And when pork bastes itself in pork, I mean, do I have to say anything else?
Yum.
Yum, right? So that's why we like the rotisserie. But you can put this on the rack. This recipe will work great on your air fryer, in your rack. Absolutely,
And
airflow rack.
Constant basting must make it moist inside.
Well, listen, who can baste constantly all day,
Exactly.
right? So it does it by itself. I
Right.
love it. So you can do that. If you have a rotisserie, do this with the rotisserie. If not, you can do it on the rack. Okay, so what are we doing today? Well, first we're gonna make a really delicious, it's not really a rub, but it kind of is. And this is gonna start with mustard. So before we put our pork onto the spit, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna add some stone ground Dijon mustard, a couple of tablespoons of that. You know, I like the stone ground because it's got a lot of texture to it because the grain is actually whole. I'm using Grey Poupon today, but any stone ground mustard will do. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna use some honey. A couple of tablespoons of mustard, and then we're gonna do, I don't know, about 1/8 of a cup of honey, because we wanna just make sure that we have enough to go over our entire pork loin. Now, we're gonna use a little cayenne pepper. Now, you only need about 1/2 teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon. Just depends how hot you like it. I guess I like it very hot. That's what you get when you don't have a measuring spoon. Now, I'm putting smoky paprika. Now, with this, the smoky paprika, we're gonna do a couple of tablespoons. That smoky paprika, I mean, think about it. All the best rubs in the world use paprika, and this one's no different. So then what we do is we're gonna mix in the honey, the mustard, and those spices. You know, to this, I'm definitely gonna add some pepper, but I'm not gonna bore you guys. So we'll give it, you know, just a few turns. Put some salt in here as well. And, you know, the mustard's so well seasoned, you don't really even have to do it, but, you know, I can't help myself. We're so used to salting and peppering everything, but that mustard's got tons of flavor. All right, so that's our rub. And then how do we do it? I'm not gonna get too into it, but here's my beautiful pork loin. Jess, look at that. Now, everybody thinks about pork as being fatty. Now, I did leave a little bit of fat on the outside because I'm gonna put it on the rotisserie. I want that fat on the outside because I want those juices.
Crispy.
Yeah, I want the juices of the pork fat, you know,
Oh,
basting all of the outside of the pork. But look on the inside. Can you see that?
Yeah,
Let me
I
get
see
fork.
it great.
Okay.
No, I see it.
It's almost fat-free,
Yeah,
you know, and that's why
very
they
lean inside.
it's very lean, and that's why they call pork the other white meat. And you know, that's not just a slogan. I mean, it really is. They've kind of bred the they've bred the pork to be less fatty than it was many years ago. So even the pork shoulders and stuff like that, everything is very different now. And I'm talking like a long time ago, but pork is definitely, especially if you get the loin, it's definitely going to be on the lean side, like very lean.
Now, once you put that on, do you need to let it sit?
Yeah. So I'm going to just slather this whole thing. Now, I would go all the way around, all over the sides. What you want to do is you want to throw this in the fridge. Throw it in for a couple of hours if you can. But listen, if you can't, it's okay. Nothing's going to happen, but I'm not done yet. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to add some fresh herbs. Now, these herbs are beautiful and powerful and very important to this recipe. So we have fresh sage, which I can't tell. This sage that I picked up today was just the most fragrant sage that I've smelled in a while. And I got the most beautiful rosemary. So that's a good thing. You know, spices and herbs are not always readily available where they're perfect, right? Today I just nailed it. Like the store just had beautiful, wonderful, incredibly potent herbs. So rosemary and sage, look how pretty that looks. We're just gonna pop that into the fridge. You know, an hour, hopefully 2 hours, but it's okay if you can't. Now, I would take it out of the fridge, and then I put it on my rotisserie spit. And you guys have already seen that, but I'll show you one more time. This is what it looks like after it's cooked for about, say about 40 minutes-ish, depending on the size. Now, this was a 4-pound. In the recipe, I said 3 or 4 pounds. You know, sometimes they're thinner, sometimes they're thicker. So you're gonna have to use your temperature probe. You want it to be around 165. That's what the government says, so that's what we have to say. So that's where we are. We're cooking our rotisserie spit. We have our pork loin. It's going. Now what are we gonna do? Now we're gonna get a pot and melt some butter. So I just put a couple of tablespoons of butter in there and I melted it. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add Granny Smith apples. Ooh. Granny Smith apples are perfect because they're sweet and sour, all on their own. So the flavor profile is already amazing. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put brown sugar. We're gonna coat that in the apples, let it cook for about 5 minutes, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add raisins. We're just gonna cook that for another couple of minutes. And this is what it looks like when it's done. Look how pretty. Now doesn't that look like fall?
Oh,
it's
yes.
Raisins, it's apples.
Comforting.
It's so absolutely delicious. And then we're gonna hit that with a little bit more of our fresh herb. So you get sort of like that, the rosemary and the sage are gonna give you a nice fall flavors. And then you have the apples and the raisins. So this is what we're gonna top our rotisserie pork with. So it's looking pretty good, right? We got a real mustardy rub. We have a really delicious Granny Smith apple compote that we're gonna put on the top of it. You already saw how pretty the pork looks. Now, Jess, why don't you tell me who's out there?
Okay.
Because I'm gonna come over there, I'm gonna grab the pork off of the rotisserie spit so we don't, you know, that's not gonna be super exciting to watch.
Okay,
So
we have a lot of people here. We have Anne Vautour.
Hi,
Anne.
Anne.
The French way. She might not be French, though. She's just saying hi. We have Adam Melvin saying, oh, wow, that looks absolutely delicious.
Hey, Adam. Adam's been here before.
Yeah, he's from
I recognize
England,
that name.
Right? England? I believe so. Terry Profozic said, yummy. Apple pie with no crust is really what you're doing right there. Cheryl Bull from Tennessee says hello.
Hey, Cheryl. How are you?
And Katie B says she has that she recognizes that saucepan and has one.
Yeah. I know. I love it. I use these all the time. And I have a couple of them, which of course you guys can imagine that I do.
David Tiet says, are you using Copper Chef? So
am I using Copper Chef?
Of course you are.
Of course.
We also have someone named Win Shui, and I am trying to say, yes, tell us, Eric, which air fryer do you think is the best one out of all the PowerXL air fryers?
Oh, who asked me that?
Win Shi, I think you would pronounce it.
Okay, Win. So here's the deal. So we have so many air fryers for so many different kinds of people, right? So if you're maybe one or two or maybe a small family, I love the PowerXL 5-quart Vortex. It's so easy to use. This is the one over here. Jess, this is our gray, sort of our standard egg shape. And that's great. I'm telling you, it's the easiest one to use, in my opinion. And then if you want to go a little bit bigger, you want to go with the PowerXL Pro. That's more of an air fryer with racks in it. And those racks allow you to do multiple meals at once. If you like to grill, you want to use the PowerXL air fryer grill. And if you like to slow cook, you want to use the PowerXL air fryer grill combo. So if you go to powerxlproducts.com, we literally have an air fryer for everybody's size family, everybody's taste, whatever size food you want to cook, we have one for you. So that's the hardest question
Something
to
for
ask.
everyone.
But I'm glad that you did, because it got me a chance to explain to you a couple of the different air fryers that we use.
Okay, and also Donna Brown asked can she get accessories for the air fryer? So I think that same website.
PowerXLProducts.com, they have all the accessories that PowerXL makes. And, you know, they're most likely to have something in stock if they have it.
Jillian Beard is here again from England.
Hey, Jillian, how you doing? That's two people from across the pond.
Adam Melvin and her. And then we have Joanne Francis saying hello.
Hey, Joanne. Joanne's a frequent visitor here.
Lawada Green from Vancouver, Washington is here.
Hey, Lawada.
We have Vicki Harrell from West Virginia.
Oh, how are you? How's West Virginia today? What's the weather over there?
And lots of people are saying they actually love pork, so this is working out great. And Donna McKinney had an interesting comment. She said she made the honey roasted salmon recipe that came with her XL 6-quart oven air fryer.
Okay.
So you know how you do recipes for them in the box?
Yeah.
She said delicious. In fact, so good that I ate it before I even could take a picture. She meant to.
You know, we like to put recipes that ship with all the PowerXL products. We like to put nice ones in there. We like to, you know, give you a pamphlet with. Most of the time, we always put some photos, because I know people really enjoy photos when they're making a recipe. Jess, come on in here, because I want to show how pretty this pork is.
Oh gosh!
Now look at that.
That looks perfect.
Now between that beautiful caramelized outside, because remember we put honey and mustard on here, so those sugars are caramelized on the outside. And, you know, look how juicy.
I could smell it.
Look at this.
I could smell the honey and mustard.
Look at this. This is white meat pork, and look how the
it.
juices are just pouring right out of that. That is really, really good.
Beautiful.
So.
Well, that's what happens when you baste something that often. On a rotating basis, if you will.
That's right. When you baste your pork in pork, it's going to taste better. Trust me. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little of our compote. I'm just going to do it right over here. I'm not even going to make a plate today because, you know, it's nice to have a platter like this. I think it's really pretty. And then...
family style.
Yeah, just over the top. I'm just going to lay some of this over, and then we can get a nice little beauty shot for everybody. And then, you know, I'm going to finish this up.
That is so beautiful.
With some really pretty herbs on top.
Oh my goodness. I feel like it's a holiday now.
Well,
is this like a holiday today?
You know how they say it's 5 o'clock somewhere?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a holiday somewhere.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Who the heck knows? There's always a holiday.
Probably like National Raisins and Apples Day or something.
You know, I think there is some kind of apple thing going on right now. I'm not sure.
Well, there you go.
So you can't have enough rosemary and sage with this because it really holds up to the apples and the raisins and the mustard. It's lots of powerful flavors, which is good because, you know, the pork is delicious, but it is kind of neutral, right? So especially the pork loin. You know, when you get into some of the other parts of the pork, it's got a little bit more flavor. This is a little bit more neutral. So all these extra flavors that we put on really, really work well.
Mr. Misty Animation says, wow, that roast looks fine.
Mr. Misty Animation?
Yeah, Mr. Misty Animation.
That's pretty cool.
Let's see. Oh, Laura Searcher's here. I haven't seen Laura in a little
Laura
bit.
Searcher, how are you?
She said you were pretty great with that PowerXL Smokeless Grill yesterday on QVC.
I was on QVC all day yesterday, 24 hours.
Actually, a few people have mentioned they saw that show and enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's always fun to be on QVC because I get to talk to everybody. Like here, I get to talk to everybody.
Yeah, Jean Sangaresi's here, and she also said, saw you on the queue yesterday, loved it.
Yeah, man. It was a long day, but it was fun.
Yeah. We have Richard Clarkson from Monrovia, California. He said it's
Richard.
always a great show, and you're great equipment with it.
Oh, man, thank you. That means a lot. I appreciate it.
Yes. Let's see.
Who else is out there?
Cheryl Prince saw you on QVC yesterday.
Hey, you guys. You're watching
must have
QVC. I wonder... So listen, the Smokeless Grill is great, and I'm sure we will do some Facebook Live, some YouTube with the Smokeless Grill. I love that because you can use it inside all year round. It's so much fun. So Jess, just show them the pork one more time. Guys, I hope you will air fry this. If you have a rotisserie, great. Use it on the rotisserie. This is a really flavor-packed recipe. It was so much fun to catch up with all those people out there. It was. I see a lot of friends. We see some new people. YouTube, hopefully you guys are enjoying this recipe. I will talk to you later. See you next Thursday. Bye-bye.